So this week in AI was kind of insane. We had Meta building an AI that can predict how your brain reacts to a video. Google dropped two big things. There was a whole battle between voice AI tools, all claiming to sound the most human. Wikipedia officially said no more AI. CapCut just released Seedance 2.0, the video model everyone's talking about lately. And OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, quietly shut down one of their most hyped apps ever. Yeah, a lot happened. I'm going to break all of it down for you. So, let's start with Meta's brain reading AI. And honestly, this one kind of blew my mind. So Meta, the company behind Facebook and Instagram, their AI research team, just released something called Tribe V2. And basically what it does is, it tries to predict how your brain responds to things you see and hear. Here's how it works in simple terms. They had over 700 volunteers watch movies and listen to podcasts inside an MRI machine for about 500 total hours. The machine tracked which parts of the brain lit up and when. They fed all that data into an AI, and now that AI has basically learned the pattern of how human brains respond to stuff, this new version is 70 times more detailed than the old one. So before it was like knowing, hey, the visual part of your brain is active. Now it's like knowing exactly which tiny section of that area is firing and when. And here's what really got me. It can accurately predict brain responses for people it has never scanned before, and for languages it was never explicitly trained on. No retraining needed. Meta has open sourced the whole thing. The model weights, codebase, research paper, and an interactive demo are all publicly available. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this main page in the description below. Next up, on March 24th, OpenAI posted on X that they are shutting down the Sora app. If you don't know what Sora is, it was OpenAI's AI video generator. You type a prompt, and it would make a video. They launched it as a social app back in September 2025, basically a TikTok-style feed. But every video was AI generated. The underlying Sora 2 model is still available if you're a ChatGPT Plus or Pro subscriber through the ChatGPT interface, but the standalone app and social experience has gone. Also, Google had a busy week. Two major drops worth knowing about. Google DeepMind introduced Lyria 3 Pro, an upgraded version of their AI music generation model. The big headline here, you can now generate tracks up to 3 minutes long, and the model actually understands musical composition, so you can prompt for specific song elements like intros, verses, choruses, and bridges. And it gets it. It'll build the song with real structure, not just a vague looping melody.
Beneath my bed, tracing every single word that you never actually said. We had a rhythm, baby, like a summer afternoon. You were my favorite record, played a
It's now available across a bunch of Google products: Vertex AI for enterprise use, Google AI Studio and the Gemini API for developers, Google Vids for video creators, and the Gemini app for subscribers. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this main page in the description below. Google also launched Gemini 3.1 Flash Live, and honestly, this one actually feels like a real conversation. It picks up on your tone, responds fast, and keeps the rhythm flowing without that laggy robotic vibe we're all used to. The improvements are actually solid, way better at following instructions, can filter out background noise like traffic or TV, and it supports over 90 languages in live conversation. People are already using it for voice-controlled design tools, AI companions for older adults, and even an AI game master for a role-playing game. Check out this demo of someone using it in Google Stitch, their AI-powered UI design platform.
Show me the practice mode screen.
Right on. Taking you there now.
Great. So I'm not a huge fan of the dashed lines and the way that you got that kind of square boxy look. Can you like refine this so the numbers just kind of fit in nicely with a circle around it?
I'm on it. Let's ditch the dashed and boxy feel and refine it into something truly minimalist and clean. Working on that now.
Okay, let's select the song library now, please.
You got it.
So here, I'd love for you to do a version with a nice kind of brown woody palette instead of the black. Could you create that for me?
A warm, woody brown palette for the song library. That's a vibe. Let's explore that. That earthy brown palette looks killer. It creates a totally different feel. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. Thanks so much for helping.
Some really creative stuff being built on this. If you're building anything that involves talking to an AI in real time, this is worth paying attention to. Gemini 3.1 Flash Live is now available via the Gemini Live API in Google AI Studio. If you want to dive deeper, I'll link the main page in the description below. Speaking of voices, this week had not one, but two notable voice AI tools. European AI lab Mistral released Voxtral TTS, their first text-to-speech model. At just 4 billion parameters, it's lightweight, and you can run locally on your computer. It supports 9 languages, including English, French, German, Spanish, Hindi, and Arabic, and claims very low latency 70 milliseconds for a typical 10-second audio sample. And you can give it just a 3-second voice clip, and it'll clone that voice, picking up the rhythm, the accent, even the little natural pauses that person has when they talk. Let's check out some examples.
Boy oh boy, I'm so excited for the summer. It's going to be so warm here. Can't wait for swimming in the Lido and making cherry pie. Boy oh boy, I'm so excited for the summer. It's going to be so warm here. Can't wait for swimming in the Lido and making cherry pie.
Hi, my name is Paul. How can I help you today? Before we begin, I'll need to verify a few details. Can you confirm your full name and date of birth?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Marie. Comment puis-je t'aider aujourd'hui? Avant de commencer, je dois vérifier quelques détails. Peux-tu confirmer ton nom complet et ta date de naissance? Before we begin, I'll need to verify a few details. Can you confirm your full name and date of birth?
It is available now at about 1.6 cents per 1,000 characters. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this main page in the description below. Then, Smallest.ai dropped Lightning 5.3 built specifically for conversational voice agents rather than general text-to-speech. It supports 15 languages with automatic language detection and can switch languages mid-sentence, which is huge for real-world multilingual conversations. Let's check out some examples.
Oh, okay. So if we leave at 7? No, wait, that's too early. Maybe like 8:30, and then we would get there by probably around noon, I think.
Wait, so you're saying you've already tried that? Okay, that actually changes things. Because I was going to suggest exactly that. And now we need to think about this differently.
It also supports voice cloning from just 5 to 15 seconds of audio, available now on a pay-as-you-go plan. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this main page in the description below. Next up, we have Cohere Transcribe. On the input side of audio AI, Cohere launched Transcribe, a new open-source automatic speech recognition model that's now sitting at #1 on the biggest open-source speech recognition leaderboard, with fewer mistakes than Whisper, 11 Labs, and OpenAI's transcription tools. The model is 2 billion parameters, supports 14 languages, and is available for free download on Hugging Face. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this main page in the description below. Also this week, CapCut dropped Dreamina Seedance 2, ByteDance's newest video generation model. In my opinion, it's hands down the best one out there, yet it can generate clips up to 15 seconds long with super solid motion and audio. Right now, it's available in SIA, MENA, LATAM, and Africa, with more regions rolling out soon. Also, Wikipedia officially banned AI-generated content. The vote passed 40-2 among Wikipedia's community of volunteer editors. You cannot use AI to write or rewrite articles on the site. That's the rule now. And their reasoning is pretty solid. Wikipedia's whole thing is that everything has to be backed by real checkable sources. The problem with AI is it sometimes invents facts that sound totally real but are made up. If those fake facts end up on Wikipedia, other websites copy them, future AI models are trained on those websites, and now the wrong information is baked into everything. It's a loop that's really hard to break. There are two small exceptions. Editors can use AI to clean up grammar in their own writing if they actually review it, and AI can help with translation between language versions with human review. Spain's Wikipedia went even harder full ban with no exceptions. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this page in the description below. Next up, OpenAI is rolling out AI-powered product discovery inside ChatGPT, essentially turning it into a shopping assistant that can surface and recommend products. If you have an e-commerce business, you can get your product listed as recommended product when people are searching for similar products inside ChatGPT. To apply for your product to be listed, click on Learn More and fill out these details. Shopping is currently live for ChatGPT ChatGPT users in the US, and they're planning to expand to more merchants and regions over time. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this page in the description below. This one is from Meta. It's called RealMaster, and what it does is take plastic-looking 3D rendered video, like a clip from GTA, and transform it into photorealistic-looking footage. So here are some examples. The shapes, shadows, and movements all stay the same. It doesn't change the action at all. It just makes it look like it was filmed in the real world, instead of rendered on a computer. When you compare it to other tools that try to do the same thing, like Lucy Edit or Edido, those tools tend to mess up the details of the original footage. RealMaster keeps everything consistent. Now, the downside, Meta hasn't released this to the public yet. It's still research, but it's a really interesting idea, and hopefully they'll put it out soon. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this page in the description below. Next up, daVinci MagiHuman, and this one is a big deal for open source AI video. This is a 15 billion parameter model that can generate video with audio already built in, not generate video and then add audio separately. It does both at the same time, natively. It supports multiple languages too. So here are some demos for your reference.
It's day 147 up here. Can you believe it? Almost a year. I look at Earth every morning. I find our city. I find our street. I find our house. I wave. Every single day, I wave at you. If I don't make it, look up at the stars sometimes. I'll be there. I'll be waving.
In benchmark tests, it actually beats LTX 2.3, which has been one of the top open source video models on visual quality, text alignment, and in blind human tests, where people just pick the better looking video. daVinci won about 60% of the time, and it's uncensored out of the box. The catch, even the smaller distilled version is 61 gigabytes, so most of you cannot run this on a regular gaming PC. But since it's open source, quantized versions that are smaller and easier to run will probably show up soon. If you're interested in reading further, or if you do have enough VRAM to run this, I'll link to this page in the description below. Okay, this one is for people who run AI locally on their own computer, and a lot of you do. ComfyUI released a major update this week called Dynamic VRAM, and honestly, it's really useful. Before this update, when you ran an AI image or video model, your computer would try to load the entire model into your GPU's memory all at once. If your GPU didn't have enough memory, which is super common with mid-range cards, it would either crash or you'd have to use smaller models. Dynamic VRAM changes that. Instead of loading everything at once, it loads and unloads parts of the model only when they're actually needed during generation. So it uses way less memory at any given moment, which means you can now run bigger, better models on the same hardware you already have. And it's not just about fitting bigger models, it actually makes generation faster too. They showed benchmarks using WAN 2.2 on an RTX 5060, and the generation times with dynamic VRAM were significantly faster than without it. The difference is pretty clear. There's one important thing to know though, this only works on NVIDIA GPUs, on Windows and Linux, so if you're on a Mac or an AMD card, this doesn't apply to you yet. But if you're on NVIDIA and you haven't updated ComfyUI recently, this is a good reason to do it now. If you're interested in reading it further, I'll link this main page in the description below. Next, CUA Suite. And this one is more for developers and researchers, but it's worth knowing about. If you want to train an AI agent that can actually use a computer, like open apps, click buttons, drag things around, type things, and complete real tasks, you need good training data. And that's exactly what CUA Suite is. It's a massive open source dataset made up of 55 hours of expert human demonstrations, basically screen recordings of real people doing real computer tasks. We're talking 10,000 tasks across 87 different desktop applications, all recorded at full frame rates with cursor movements, clicks, and typing captured. This is one of the best open source resources available if you're building or fine-tuning computer use agents. If that's your thing, go check it out. I'll link this main page in the description below. This one is genuinely cool. It's called PrismAudio, and it takes a silent video and automatically generates realistic sound effects that match what's happening on screen. Here are some examples. Everything is timed to what's actually happening visually. And here's the impressive part, it's only 518 million parameters, which makes it tiny compared to competitors, which are like over billions of parameters. But it still scores the highest on benchmark metrics and generates audio the fastest. The awesome thing is, they've already released the model. It's available on GitHub right now, and the whole thing is only about 6 gigabytes, so most consumer GPUs can handle it. If you have silent footage that needs sound, this is currently the best open source option out there. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this main page in the description below. Next up, this AI is also quite interesting. It's called LagerNVS that does something pretty wild. You give it just a handful of photos of a place, like a room or a street, and it generates entirely new camera angles that were never actually photographed. So it takes like 4 or 5 images and basically builds a 360-degree 3D scene from them. What makes it different from older approaches is it doesn't try to reconstruct a 3D geometry of everything, which is slow and messy. Instead, it learns the relationship between viewpoints and then uses AI to fill in what things should look like from an angle you never captured. And so you can see from these demos, even with just a few images, it can generate a pretty consistent and realistic view of the scene. The code is already released and available on GitHub. So if you click on this code button and you scroll down a bit here, it contains all the instructions on how to download and run this locally on your computer. If you're interested in reading further, I'll link to this main page in the description below. Next up, we have pulse of motion. Okay, this one solves a problem you've probably noticed but never had a name for. When AI generates video, the motion is often wrong. Not wrong in terms of what's happening, but wrong in terms of how fast it happens. A person walks too slow, a ball moves too fast, things just feel slightly off. They're trained on tons of videos with different speeds, all normalized into the same frame rate, which creates what the researchers called chronometric hallucination. Basically, the model guesses at timing instead of actually understanding how fast things should move in real life. So here they created this AI to fix this. When you see the before and after comparisons, the difference is pretty clear. The videos immediately feel more grounded and natural. The nice thing is they've released the code to this already. So if you click on this button and you scroll down a bit here, it contains all the instructions on how to download and run this locally on your computer. Note that this is 2 gigabytes in size, so you should be able to run this on most consumer GPUs. If you're interested in checking it out, I'll link to this main page in the description below. Next up this week, we have a new AI for creating deepfakes. So this is called LumosX and is a new open source video generator that's specifically built to handle multiple reference images at once and keep everything consistent throughout the video. So for example, you upload a photo of a man, a photo of a woman, a specific shirt, some speakers, and a background. You write a prompt combining all of them, and LumosX is actually able to generate a video where all those elements show up consistently, looking the way you specified. Other models fall apart when you give them this many references at once. LumosX handles it better than anything else out there right now. The way it works technically is through something called relational self-attention, which basically means the model explicitly links each reference, a face, a shirt, an object to specific parts of the video, so they don't randomly drift or get mixed up. A few things to note: it's based on 1.2.1, which is a solid but not the absolute latest open model, and the full download is about 35 gigabytes, so you'll need a higher end GPU to run this, but it's already released on GitHub if you want to try it. I'll link to this main page in the description below. Next up, this AI is useful for photo editing. So it's called RealRestorer and is an open source image restoration tool, and it's pretty impressive. You plug in any photo that's damaged or low quality, blurry, noisy, scratched, compressed artifacts, old black and white photos, rain or snow effects, even reflections, and it restores it, sharpens it, removes the damage, adds back detail, fixes the colors. In benchmarks, it actually scores on par with top closed source commercial models out there, Nano Banana Pro and GPT Image 1.5, and it beats the leading open source image editors like Qwen Image Edit. They've released this already. So at the top of the page, if you click on this code button and you scroll down a bit here, it contains all the instructions on how to download and run this locally on your computer. Plus, it gives you some guidelines on how to format your prompt. Note that the total size of everything is 42 gigabytes, so you're going to need a higher end GPU to fit everything, but this is one of the best open source image editors you can use right now for restoring photos. So if you are interested in trying this out, I'll link to this main page in the description below. Also this week, a Chinese company called Aheadform revealed their robot called the Origin F1, and it is a hyper-realistic humanoid robot head and upper body. When you first look at it, it doesn't look like a robot. It looks like a person. We're talking realistic skin texture, natural eye movement, and subtle facial expressions, not cartoonish or stuff like most robot faces. Here's what's going on inside it. It has between 25 and 30 tiny motors called micro actuators controlling every part of the face. Eyes, eyebrows, lips, cheeks, and even micro expressions like a subtle smile or a tiny shift when it's thinking, all powered by their own AI system called Omni AI. It makes natural eye contact, it blinks, it syncs its lips to speech, it tilts its head when it's listening, and it adjusts its emotional expressions based on what you say and how you say it. You can also swap out the silicone skin to completely change how it looks, and you can change its personality settings. I know this falls straight into Uncanny Valley territory for a lot of people, but this is the most realistic robotic face I've seen so far. Alright, that's the whole week. Let me know if I missed something. Drop it in the comments. Which one surprised you most this week? Personally, I'm still thinking about the brain model. If you found this useful, drop a like, subscribe if you want to keep up with new AI tools every week, and I'll see you next week with more AI news.